What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. I'm here with Ed, the pond professor, and they just put an absolutely phenomenal aquascape pond set up for us, and we are super excited about it. And one of the things that we wanted to start off by doing is obviously bringing MIgardener into this pond by growing edibles. We're going to be planting a bunch of edibles around the pond, things like peach trees, cherry trees, dwarf trees. We're going to be putting a whole bed of basically strawberries. So very, very excited about that. But I wanted to also incorporate in the pond some edibles, because I haven't seen that. And I know that a lot of people want to know things that they can grow. And so I have Ed with me. We're going to go through really quick 5 things that you can get at the grocery store that you can grow in your pond. Let's go. All right, so the first crop is, what is this?
This is watercress. This is one of my favorites. I have this growing in my personal pond. Does phenomenal, not only as an edible, but it's an incredible plant from a filtration standpoint. So anytime you have a green leafy plant like this that takes off and it explodes in growth, it's growing because of nitrogen. So now when we have fish inside the pond, the fish waste, the excrement from the fish is going to be high in ammonia. As it's being broken down through the nitrification cycle, happening right inside the biological filter, it's going to go from ammonia to nitrite to nitrate. The nitrate is going to feed these plants. So what we want to do is we want to take some small bunches of this.
Check it out, look at that. There's actually roots.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that? There's literally roots forming right on that.
Awesome.
There's actually roots forming right on that watercress.
That's exactly what we're looking for. So what we want to do basically is we're just going to take some little clumps.
Show them that tag, so they don't think there's no state. These came right from our local grocery store, literally. So, yeah. So show them how you'd plant these.
So we're going to take a little bit of a bunch of it. So inside of this tray here, so we have that upflow filtration. So we have all that nutrient-rich water that's coming through the biological filter, and then we have little pockets of river rock inside here. It's the perfect media for this. So what we want to do is come in, scrape away a little bit of that gravel, and just tuck these little cuttings right inside of there, and you will be amazed within days how these things start to catch root inside of there. The other thing we can do, anytime we see a little pocket in between some boulders, we just slide that right down in there so the bottom of it's in the water.
Just holds it in place.
And that's it. That's literally it. We can do that anywhere along the stream. So the watercress, it loves flow. So we could tuck it in anywhere around this perimeter, even on that far side where we have that strong current that's hitting right by the patio.
All right, we're here with the second plant that you can get at the grocery store, which is mint. Now we just so happen to have some growing around here already, but you can get this at the grocery store and it roots super easily, right?
Oh my gosh, it takes off.
So why don't you show us how you'd plant this mint? You know, you can just take cuttings just like you would normally. And how would you plant the mint in a setting like this?
So what I like about mint, obviously it's aromatic. So anywhere we can put it close to the patio area. So that way if you're walking around, brushing it, if you're stepping on it and things like that, it kind of just gives you that little mint essence in the air. So what I want to do is I'm going to take a couple sprigs of this, and the same thing that we did with the watercress, this does not need the flow like the watercress. This will grow anywhere. So I'm just going to dig out some of this river stone that's right here, and I'm just going to expose the water level, and I'm just going to tuck that down a little bit inside, and then I'm going to push gently around it, that river stone back, and that is it.
Nice. That's super easy. Yeah. So you just come over here and
find the pocket. Put a little stone around it as well to kind of lock it in place, and you're set.
Put it like that, and then and it's just roots just like that. Then
that's it.
So we covered watercress and we covered mint. What is what's the third plant that you can plant near, in a pond setting like this?
In a pond setting like this, one of my favorites is taro. Just because, I mean, it has those beautiful big tropical leaves. It's not going to last year round. So it's something that you can put in summertime. You want that water temperature to be about 70 degrees or above. But once that takes off, it is a spectacular.
And you would harvest the root, right? The taro root itself.
Correct.
Awesome. And then what about the fourth one?
Fourth one is ginger.
Ginger. All right. So and then how would you? So ginger, obviously another tropical crop.
Correct.
You'd grow it in the spring, probably
warmer water temperatures and things. Same thing, same exact processes, just basically finding some of those
right on the edge
and
here.
just tucking them in between some of the rocks and then gently filling around them with that river stone, and it helps lock it in place, but it also gives it a little bit of that surface area, so the root system will actually grab onto that. So when you go in and you're going to harvest that plant out, you're going to see that root system is going to be pretty extensive.
Yeah.
It's going to extend itself well down into that water column.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things about these plants that can tolerate literally being in water is the fact that in the garden we talk about don't overwater. Don't overwater. Like, watering is something that gardeners really worry a lot about.
Right.
And sometimes you over worry and you overwater and it ends up killing the plant. So it's nice, like these ones are just like, you're literally growing them actually in water. So it's like, it's the opposite. And I really like that, because it's kind of those plants where people are like, give me some plants that I can't kill. It's like, okay, these are some plants. All right, Ed, so we have watercress, we got mint, we got ginger, and we got taro. So what's the fifth one you can grow?
Collard greens.
Collard greens. And how would you grow, so collard greens, would you grow it exactly the same way? Because collard greens are more of a vegetable rather than kind of, an herb, and they're not a tuber, so how would you grow those?
Right, same exact concept. They're going to grow in that upper margin. They're not going to be submerged. You can't go all the way underwater like a water lily or something like that. They're going to be growing around that marginal area. I love the leaves on them, so you can get some really unique veining in it. So it's actually going to turn into quite a beautiful plant, but they need a little bit more room, so I would tuck them in on that back edge over there, and they're just going to kind of fill in some of those different spaces in between some of those cobblestones. Yeah,
and I think that's a great one. Collards are something that often are really overlooked, because I don't know if you ever heard of tree collards before, but tree collards are actually, they don't give off seed. You have to propagate them in water. And so tree collards / collards would be, a absolutely great fifth option that you can get if you could find tree collards at the grocery store. I know you can find collards, but I don't know about tree collards. So now that we talked about those 5 amazing water-loving plants that you can get at the grocery store, we actually have 2 bonus ones that we came across. We're kind of just planning out this video. One is avocado pit, and you probably have heard about sprouting the avocado pit in water. You can literally just poke some toothpicks in, float it in the water there, and it'll start to root. Once it roots, you do want to move it to more of a dry soil medium. But then the second bonus is water chestnut. Now, water chestnut is not very common around here, but I did some research, and you can find it at Asian markets. So if you've got an Asian market near you, I would imagine it probably has to be raw, obviously, and then probably unpeeled too. But those little dark water chestnuts, you can actually grow those, and they will grow in a pond like this. So those are 5 plus 2 bonuses that you can grow in and around a pond that you can get at a grocery store. So Ed, I just want to thank you so much for coming out. This is kind of the capstone video in our 4-part little mini series here on our aquascape pond build. And I'm just so happy with it. It looks absolutely beautiful. And so for everyone that's been watching, thank you so much. And Ed, thank you so much for coming out.
It's been a pleasure.
And a huge thank you to the whole team that came and worked on this project. It's a dream come true for us, and it's something that we're really going to enjoy for many, many more years. So, so a big thank you. Also, if you want to check out Ed, the Pond Professor, and everything Aquascape, I'll post links in the description box down below. Make sure to give a huge thank you to Ed and the whole team for coming out here and making this happen. So, as always, this is Luke, and do you want to help me sign off? This is Luke.
And this is Ed.
From the MIgardener channel, reminding you to say, grow big or go home.
Grow big or grow home.
Bye.